Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to another episode of the Builders Tribe Tuesday Fireside Chat. All right, so I don't know. I look a little dark tonight. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but as usual, something happens when we're about to go live. I literally had my camera set, and 5 minutes ago, it decided to give me this. So I had to pump my lights up all the way so you could at least see me. You can't see the background. You can see a couple of candles flickering back there. One of the lights, my bar light, and a little bit of blue. But you know what? Show must go on. You know, I could either do the show like this, or I could, turn my camera off and do the show like this. But this is kind of anticlimactic, so I'd rather see you guys. So, but anyway, we're gonna talk about use of force tonight, guys. It's a topic that a lot of people that I know that don't really understand the ins and outs, and I'll be honest with you, I know just enough to keep myself out of trouble, but I also know enough to keep other people out of trouble as best I can. So, and just know as we go forward in this show that we are not attorneys, we are not lawyers, we are not anyone that you would want to take legal advice from. So, and every state is different. So you definitely want to know the laws where you live. You want to know if there's a duty to retreat, which is a whole nother show because it's a large subject. You want to know what you can do in your particular jurisdiction. So don't take anything we say verbatim. As usual, if we talk about something like this, we ask you to definitely talk to your attorney for legal advice for yourself. So we know general information on this. I know what I can do here in Virginia. I know what I'm not required to do. I know that's what I know for myself. But even if you're in Virginia, please seek out information from an attorney that will tell you the ins and outs of the law. So with that being said, thought I saw something in my nose, and nobody wants to tell me that. Anyway, with that being said, let's bring on, before I get to the other housekeeping, let's bring on our co-host, Mr. Weapon XYZ. What's going on, my dude?
What up, y'all?
I see you got the buds in tonight.
I do. I was gonna rock the new headset tonight, but I was taking the dog out. Figured this was easier to connect, and bam, here I am.
Yeah. So, before we go forward, we got the tribe in the comments area. We see everybody up in here, man. Welcome to the show. If you are new to the show, someone has to say it. May the force be with you. Yeah. What's going on, Hawkeye? Who else we got in there tonight? I see we got Darth Dav in there tonight. Mr. Vino, good to see you, my dude. Blade Boy SFW, good to see you. And I guess I'm going too far ahead of Mr. Weapon. He's too busy reading to catch up to me. Mr. Vino, Blade Boy, good to see you, dude. And of course, we got Hawkeye, and D-Kind 2 is in the building. What's going on, fellas? Bob just jumped in. What's going on, Bob? Good to see you, my dude. I was born in the darkness. Yes, I was born in the darkness. And I remain darkness. But yeah, little shook earlier. My situational awareness meter kicked in a little late, but we'll talk more about that later. But anyway, as you can see, I'm in the darkness. But if you are new, as I was saying, if you are new to this show, I see we have quite a few people here. If you are new to the show and you have a question about anything we're talking about, please put it in the chat. If you are unable to chat, once the replay goes up, put it in the comments of the replay. If you're watching the replay, put it in the comments. We'll definitely answer your question to the best of our knowledge. And if we don't know it right away, we'll definitely get the answer for you, hopefully within the
research.
Yeah. We'll try to get it for
guys,
you.
There's no such thing as a stupid question, just an uneducated answer.
Absolutely. But if you put it in the chat, make sure you put 4 question marks before your question, so we know it's a question for us, not the people in the chat, because sometimes the chat goes on without us and we miss stuff. So if you guys are chatting in the chat, that's absolutely fine. But if you have a question for us here on the screen, make sure you put 4 question marks so we can definitely answer your question. I do have some information in the background that I do need to pull up. That way, if we get a question that I don't know offhand, I can go right into it. Not sure that I can share my screen just because.
Brian Anarino's got a question for you after you're done.
All right, give me 1 second, and because I can't see any of you right at the moment, so I'm pulling up my PowerPoint. Use of force. Where's my use of force slides?
Living free in the house.
What's going on? You know what?
I'll leave Brian's question up on the screen for you when you're done.
All right, let's see. Brian, what happened to the lights? They're on. I could show you that every light in here is on. It's the camera. I don't know.
Bro, just hope the camera doesn't kick on midstream and fucking.
I could show you what my lights are normally set at. I can show you what my lights are normally set at. Right now, set at 70%. It's normally set at 10%. I'm about to disappear. You may only see my shirt and hear my voice. All right, I'm at 10% now. This is what it would be if I didn't have my lights pumped up. But this is the way I normally have my lights set. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll just turn my lights up.
So how is the witness protection program?
Oh, man, I'm about to blow. Wait, let me turn my lights back down to 71.
You're supposed to have one of those voice hider things, aren't you?
Yeah. My face is supposed to be pixelated right now, but that's not working either. Anyway, guys, this is going to be a fun night as we talk about use of force. And hopefully all of you are. I'm sorry, Alexa tried to get my attention. Know about use of force. Basically, it's loosely defined. If you're in a situation where, well, if you're in a situation like I was in earlier tonight, I was getting on the interstate. It's pitch black out there, and I see a car on the shoulder, and the guy was waving his phone out of the window, trying to flag somebody down. Now, me being my helpful self, before I could even think about it, I pulled over, but now I'm in front of him on a dark ramp onto an interstate. Well, my wife was with me, and I'm like, okay, instantly, I'm like, okay, I messed up because I should be behind him so I could see, where he is. But anyway,
what's up, Nico?
That's a whole question on situational awareness. But anyway, the guy walks up to my window, my wife's window. First off, I'm already on high alert. He's walking up to my wife's window. Now, if this gentleman, nothing happened, guys, everything's fine. But I got a little nervous for a minute. But anyway, the question I have for everyone here is, if this guy had pulled a knife out, would I be justified to shoot him? If he pulled a knife and threatened us, we're inside the car, car's running, car's in gear. He's standing outside the car. He pulls a knife and threatens us. Do I have the right to pull my weapon and shoot him? Absolutely not. That's kind of what we're talking about with use of force. Because just because we all carry a gun does not mean that we can all use a gun whenever we feel like our life is in danger. Now, of course, the imminent danger.
Because if you're in the car, they're outside, they pull a knife, you have the opportunity to drive away.
Absolutely. The first choice, the first thing you really want to do is don't let your ego get in the way. Get the hell out of there. Because most people will say, well, I got a gun. I'm not running from any man. Well, you know what? Sometimes it's better to run. Take it from me. Sometimes it's better to run. You don't end up with holes in your body or putting holes in someone else's body. But let's talk a little more about it. Because this is a big part of the class that I teach now with the CCW. Because if you're teaching someone to, and guys, while I'm talking, I'm trying to pull up my slides here, man.
Bob, you're so right, man.
The best gunfight is the one you're not in. Absolutely. That should definitely be everyone's slogan. That is the best one. Jedi uses the force for knowledge and defense, not for attack. Absolutely. I love that one. Yeah, the best gunfight to be in is the one that you're not in. I mean, seriously. You guys have heard the story. I was in a gunfight that I shouldn't have been in. I ended up with a hole in me. I survived it, thank God. But had I had my gun that day, guys, I'd be in jail. I didn't have my gun that day with me because I didn't think I needed it. I don't know why I thought that. The only thing I could say is God was watching over him and me, because he'd be dead and I'd be in jail, but I wouldn't have been justified because I didn't have to be there at all. Because what's going to happen is we're going, if you're involved in the shooting, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if you're involved in the shooting? What are you smiling? What are you laughing at, man?
My wife. So I'm sitting in the dining room. My wife's working on the other side of the table from me right now. We're making faces at each other.
Lord have mercy. Man, you would think these guys was newlyweds, man. They you would think they just got married. Anyway, make me sick most of the time. But anyway, until I said hi.
I will. Ram says hi.
Hi, Ram.
What's happening?
No, Qbert.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Qbert. Anyway, back
Qbert says hi to you, Ram. Qbert, go lay down.
This show's about to fall off the rails.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying.
Today.
I wouldn't have been because what happens is if there's a shooting, okay, the first thing that happens, well, not the first thing that happens, but the first thing that happens in the prosecuting attorney's office is they figure out how to prosecute somebody. And if you're the shooter and you didn't have the correct use of force, then you're going to be the one that they try to, even in a self-defense situation, they're going to try and prosecute. Guys, give me 1 second. Let me find these things, because I'm just talking off the top of my head, and there was certain points that I wanted to make, and I just need to find the files. Give me a second, guys. Media assets. Here we go. All right, so lessons, use of force. All right, so there's such thing as a reasonable force, deadly force, use of force. How will a prosecutor evaluate the case? Defense of your home and defense of property. So there are several things that you need to talk about. What's reasonable use of force, or reasonable force and deadly force. What do you think, Weapon? What do you think reasonable force is?
You said reasonable force and deadly force?
Yeah, reasonable force and deadly force, because that's the barometer that they're going to judge you on, whether your force that you used was reasonable or was it deadly, unreasonable, reasonable versus unreasonable.
I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. You see somebody getting ready to attack somebody or somebody in the process of attacking somebody,
Mhm.
and you discharge is reasonable. Deadly force is if you feel your person is in imminent danger, you have guns drawn on you, you're in a firefight.
Okay. All right. Now, you would think that absolutely that okay, it's reasonable. And what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, like you said, if your life is in imminent danger, it's reasonable. But if it's not, like my situation earlier today, they're going to be like, there's no freaking way that you needed to shoot this person through your window across your wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to endanger her by shooting across her to hit him, and he's outside the car with a knife, not a gun,
Right.
with a knife. So, and you know, and you also may need to pass other criteria in the test and in use of force. And I am trying to find the exact note that's on the tip of my tongue, guys. Give me 1 second. Like I said, I was having technical difficulties with my camera, so I didn't even have a chance to pull most of this stuff up, but I'm trying to get it up for you guys. Well, that's what she said, but anyway, I didn't say that. I didn't just say that, did I?
Living free for now says, what would a reasonable person do in the same situation, given the same situation?
Yeah. Yep. You know, like Mike said earlier, you know, avoid the conflict. You know, the conflict avoidance is just very important. You know, the only guaranteed method of surviving a violent encounter is to avoid the violent encounter, just like you said earlier. I'm just looking at some notes here. It says the law will place a special emphasis on your decisions and actions leading up to the incident where you were in possession of a firearm, and you'll be expected to have known better if you could have avoided the situation that turned violent. That is very important, because use of force could be determined by your actions previous to it. Case in point, if you're in a bar, okay, and someone bumps into you, or you bump into someone, and you say, excuse me, and that person doesn't take your apology, whatever, and you then walk away and they start staring at you across the room. Now, all they're doing is staring at you, right? You're not drinking, you're in a bar, but you're not drinking. In some localities like Virginia, you can be in a bar with your firearm as long as you're not consuming alcohol. Okay. So the guy's staring at you, mean mugging on you. Your ego gets all in a rough, and you go over to him and say, yo, what you staring at? And that conversation turns violent, spills out into the parking lot. He gets shot with your gun. You're in trouble, because you now were the instigator after the fact.
You put yourself in that situation. You were the cause of that situation.
Absolutely. Now that's going to come lead the actions leading up to the use of force. He may have pulled a tire iron. He might have hit you in the head with the tire iron, but then he backs off. Your life is not in danger anymore unless you get a hematoma, but that's beside the point. But you still pull the gun, and in the investigation, because they're going to investigate, let's get it straight here. If you use your weapon, they are going to investigate. You are going to be arrested.
Yep.
You don't even have to shoot anybody. You're going to be arrested.
That shitty pizza you had last month, they'll know about that.
Yeah. They're going to investigate. You're going to go to jail. Even if you get out, you'll be going to jail. Give me 1 second.
You're guaranteed at least 5 days.
Well, yeah, not necessarily 5 days. I mean,
at least on typical occasions.
You might end up only being a night
release and all that stuff, depending on the situation.
Yeah, really, it just really depends on that situation. But in a lot of cases, depending on where you are and how cut and dry it is, and how many witnesses, video, whatever, you may get out within 24, 48 hours, or you may not get out. They may hold you without bail, especially now your history comes into play. Do you have a history of violence? Do you have a history? Do you have any domestic violence? Now, all of that's going to come into play. Now you did something with a gun. Now they want to know how many guns you own. Now they want to know if they need to go get all your guns from your house. But anyway, back to the use of force. So go ahead.
Before you continue, think about this before you discharge your firearm. What is the second worst thing I've done in my life? Because they're going to know about that. Don't think about what's the worst thing you've done in your life. Think about what's the second worst thing you've done in your life, because they're going to know about that. They're obviously going to know about the first worst thing you've done or been caught for doing. So keep that in mind. You know, I run that through the back of my head, you know, with my my gang past and stuff like that. I have to think about that. I also have to think about my 15 years of martial arts training before I discharge. You know, will that come back? Will they go, hey, you can tear somebody apart in a ring? What made you think that you had to pull a firearm in this situation? You know, so think about those things. Play that stuff through your head. Yeah, you're responsible for every bullet you fire, Bob. There's a lawyer attached to every one. Absolutely. Go ahead, Ram.
No, you good, man. I'm just going through my notes here, and I wish I could share the screen. I'm just not sure if I can share some of this stuff here. But I definitely want to make sure that we talk about all these points, because, you know, people think that, oh, if you own a gun, that now you're a dirty Harry or you're a gun ninja or whatever the case is, man. It's like people have weird understandings on what.
I own a Dremel. I am now a gunsmith. I own a firearm. I am now John Wick.
Yeah. And that's what people think, man. And that's what they think we're out here doing. They think we gun owners, especially us builders, you know, they think we're out here taking the law into our own hands, when in most cases we're looking to avoid situations.
And a good percentage of the community are law-abiding citizens. And
Absolutely.
They don't, obviously the troublemakers get brought to the forefront in their agenda.
Yeah, they you know, it what kills me is if we.
I think somebody said the other day, we were talking, and he said 5 legal self-defense killings could happen with a polymer 80. You wouldn't hear about a single one of them, but some gangbanger or drug dealer gets caught with 2, and it's fucking front headline news.
Yep.
So.
Oh, 2 becomes a 1,000.
Yep.
You know, here's what I was looking for, guys. Sorry about that. There's a thing called the use of force continuum. All right. You know, reasonable force. Most states will define reasonable force as the minimum level of force required to end a threat without going beyond that level, which is what Weapon said earlier. Yeah, he was pretty much on point with that. You know, it can be brought to a level of force that does not exceed the threat. For example, if a threat to you included the possibility that you be bruised or received a bloody nose, it wouldn't be considered reasonable for you to respond with a level of force that could break bones, permanently disfigure your attacker. So, you know, this also goes into like that. It goes into what is the use of force even without your gun. Say you don't have your gun that day, and like they just said, someone, you know, threatens to bloody your nose, but you turn around and break their legs. That's still assault. 1, that's still assault. But 2, that is a level beyond where the use of force was. So if they have a gun, they don't have a gun. They don't have anything. They don't have any weapons. They punch you in the nose and you stab them. whether they die or not, you're going to jail.
Equal or greater
you're
force.
Be charged. They're gonna charge you guys.
Yep.
What did Hawkeye
Equal
say?
Or greater force. Hawkeye says, I have a gun, but I can't fight like John Wick. Hell, I can't shoot that good either or dodge bullets.
Yeah. Or take bullets. These guys get shot with these bulletproof suits on and don't even flinch. Did anybody see the clip from the new John Wick? Oh my gosh. They're point blank range shooting each other, but they got these bulletproof suits on. They don't even flinch. They don't move back. They don't act like they got shot. Nothing. I'm like, okay. They've gone beyond reality with John Wick at this point. But anyway, what did a Playboy? Yeah, in California, they have 48 hours to indict you. Otherwise, you're free. Again,
I'll go back to Playboy's last comment too.
Mm-hmm. To not only do statistics prove the CCW permit holders commit firearm violations that are rare, a rate of every 12 hours. Yeah, man, you're right.
Yep, 100%.
Absolutely.
You can't ignore facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Let me get back to this. But yeah, the laws of physics are optional in movies. Absolutely. I mean, and that's why we go to movies to punch out of reality for a minute. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hell, one of my favorite shoot 'em up movies is Shoot 'em Up. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's so ballistically out there that it's just great, but that's not real life.
No. Problem is somebody out there thinks it's real life. But each state's law define when it's permissible to use deadly force. Like we spoke about earlier, a lot of this stuff we've already gone on, what it means to be innocent, what immediate means, and what great or grave bodily harm means. Each state will provide legal definitions and interpretations on those things. So if you guys are carrying your weapons, not everybody on this broadcast, I'm sure, carries. We build, not everybody carries, and that's okay. If you don't, you don't. I mean, that's your preference. I do my best to carry every day, but sometimes I can't or don't. Over the weekend, at the holiday weekend, we were in a fairly safe area in an apartment. I didn't necessarily have my gun on me at all times, but that's your choice. But if you do, you should know these laws. You should know the laws of your area. You should know the continuum of reasonable use of force. If you're in fear of your life and you pull your gun and you expose your firearm, that's one level. If you pointing the firearm at another person is another level, then shooting someone or shooting and killing someone. Those are all 4 different levels of use of deadly force. And it gets to use of deadly force when you shoot somebody. So, but you must be the innocent party. You can't be the instigator unless you decide you want to go to jail. So anyway, we could discuss more in detail on these things, whether, at what point the charges may go. If you expose your firearm, I got to lean forward because I almost just disappeared into the dark.
I was just like fucking Homer Simpson disappearing into the shrub.
Yeah. Become the floating shirt. Anyway, exposing your firearm, man. Let's talk a little bit about what the different, because see, pulling your firearm can be seen as a use of force, depending on where you are. Because there's you ever heard of brandishing a firearm? that's considered a use of force in some areas. Again, it's about um, knowing what your laws are in your area. So, just a little bit about if you're exposing your firearm, you could face a misdemeanor or gross misdemeanor assault just from brandishing, just from pulling your firearm.
My buddy actually keeps the laws of his county / state in his safe, printed off in a document. I know the laws. In a situation where he might have to discharge, I know the laws. I keep him in my safe.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, Bob. It could be considered an assault, man. Just from pulling your firearm. Somebody threatens you when you pull your firearm out. You just assaulted them in some areas, some states. And you could be charged with a misdemeanor, depending on where you are. Here in Virginia, I don't think they charge for that, but it has to be justified. Again, if it's not justified, they're gonna try and charge you. It's quite possible. And with red flag laws these days, dude, you don't want to pull your firearm unless you're going to use it, period.
Nope.
And not firing no warning shots either, because it also can be seen as terroristic threats, guys. Terroristic threats.
Don't go to a party and show it off to your fucking buddies because somebody in the crowd might be sensitive.
Right. And that, oh my gosh, guys, that happened this week. That happened. I'm gonna tell you right now. Remember, me and my dad, we built a gun for my dad, and he's proud of it. And he was going to show some of the family at the Thanksgiving this week. But luckily, we found out that there was a member of the family there that really, really, really was against guns. I mean, to the point of fear of guns. I wouldn't say they're anti-gun. They just anti-gun for them. Right. Their brother was shot and killed at a young age. So ever since then, and she actually had carried a gun at one time and decided it wasn't for her because she really had a fear of guns. Someone gave her a gun and for her protection, and she couldn't do it.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But I'm just glad that
one less person who's afraid of guns with a gun, the better we are off.
But I'm glad we read the room before that, because if we had brought our guns out, okay, let's see what everybody's got. Boom, 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 and guns start hitting the table. Now we got a problem.
I'm just imagining like
she's hitting the deck screaming and yeah, my family, dude. My family, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, when my family get together, you never know what might end up on the table. But it's all done in safety, guys. We're all safe. We're responsible gun owners. I think I'm actually the only one that's ever even had a situation with a gun. Because most of them are cops or corrections officers or something like that. So sounds like let's get to the range. Yeah, no doubt. We could have went out back. Well, not this time. We weren't at my parents', but when we're at my parents', we could go out back and shoot. I guess probably not a good idea. We got people going through the woods that might get hurt. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, simply pulling out. I mean, you could get yourself in trouble. Somebody sees it that shouldn't see it. All it takes is one phone call. You might be looking at felony assault or attempted murder if you shoot somebody. Again, it could be self-defense, but they're going to investigate. Going from shooting someone to killing someone, you're looking at manslaughter in the first or second, murder in the first, second, the third. It just really depends on the situation that happened. So again, I teach a class on this, guys. If you're watching this on replay and you're in Virginia and you're interested in a use of force class, hit me up. You can find me in many ways. Look in the description. You can link up with me there or just drop me a message. We go into fine detail and everything, and you can ask questions. So, but anyway, you guys in the chat, man, you guys got any stories of use of force in your area that you know about that did or didn't end well for the person involved? As you know, guys, we over the holiday week, some of you may have heard in Chesapeake, Virginia, there was a shooting at a Walmart. That Walmart is 8 miles from where I live. That Walmart is a Walmart I am in quite frequently. I got several phone calls, people checking on me because they know I run Uber. It was 10:30 at night. I could have been there picking somebody up, getting ready to go home for work because Walmart closes at 11. And I got a lot of questions about use of force in this particular situation. Would I have been justified if I were there? Would I have been justified in shooting this person that was killing other people? Some would say no, especially if I wasn't in the room when it happened.
If you were outside and you heard gunshots fired, yes.
You know that it
and some
on
may
where you
some may
are.
Yeah, but it also depends on where you are.
Because that prosecuting attorney is going to say you could have ran. Yep. Just like they did with the guy in Indiana in the mall. They wanted to crucify him because he shot the dude that was killing people in the mall because he had an opportunity to get away. So I had this long conversation with my daughter, who is always concerned about me, and she may be watching now. I don't know. I asked her to tune in to the show at some point. She may be watching now. I don't know. But we had a long conversation. Yeah, Bob, I'm taking that charge all day. Just to for the record, I'm taking that charge all day, every day. I even told her that if I'm near the door, because they were in the break room, just in case, just a little bit of background. In case you haven't heard this, the guy walked into Walmart. He was a manager at Walmart. He walked into the break room and just started shooting people. I haven't gotten any further details on it because I just tuned out after I got to Myrtle Beach with my family. I tuned out. And I haven't had opportunity to get any further details, but the Walmart is still closed. I was over there yesterday. I had to go to the store that's next to the Walmart. They're still investigating, so I'm sure that things are trickling out.
Bob says he was a team lead, not a manager.
Okay. Team lead, manager. Team leads are managers as far as I'm concerned, but thanks, Bob. I appreciate the
yes, brother. Thank you.
The information. And you guys, if you've heard more information, please put it in the chat. Because like I said, I tuned out after I got to Myrtle Beach on Thursday, and I haven't gotten any further information. Todd Grant has some good information on the guy. He had a psychotic break. I believe so. I mean, because you just walk in and just start shooting people. That's not normal. But anyway, we're talking about use of force. If I had been near that door and heard gunfire, I told my daughter, I'm probably sending her out. If we were together, I'm sending her out, and I'm going to work. I can't sit and listen to people be killed. Now, if I'm near the front door, because the break room's all the way in the back, if I'm in the front door or near the front door and I hear gunfire, chances are I'm going outside. Chances are, especially if she's with me. Yeah. If she's with me and I'm not in an imminent danger, I am not the police. No matter how bad I want to go in there and run to the back of the store and find the guy and put him down, I'm not the police. Guys, we are not the cops. Unless you are a cop and you're in your jurisdiction, go to work. Go to work. Oh man, I left my notes in the car because I wanted to talk to you guys about this. I watched the press conference, and I for one, this is just me. If this is true, which I believe it is, because the police commissioner, I don't know the man, but he seems like a stand-up guy. He wouldn't speculate. He wouldn't answer questions he didn't know. He simply said, I don't have the information. Or he said he couldn't release the information. The guys next to kin hadn't been notified. So you got my respect on that point. But he started. The second he was introduced, the first thing he said is, let's talk about timeline. He didn't duck it. Oh Lord. You see the comments, Weapon?
Yeah, I'm trying to take it, but I don't have the moderator on my profile yet. It doesn't look like, or I'm not signed in.
You should be. Oh no. See, I just blocked you, dude. Hold on.
I'll talk to you anyway.
How can I unblock you? Damn it. I didn't mean to block you. I was trying to block the other person. Fuck. I think I just blocked you, man. Crap. Hold on. Let me see if I can get to one of your other. Damn it. And all your other messages are gone. You're not going to be able to do anything. I just blocked you. How do I unblock Weapon? See, this is what happens when more than one person tries to do a job. Oh man, where's Nas when I need him, man? Crap. I may have to go. You know what? Just don't text. Don't I got it. Can you do anything other than can you still highlight stuff? No, nothing.
Hold on.
I might have to go in here and let's see. Hold on. Sorry about this, guys. Technical difficulties. I seem to have clicked the button and knocked Weapon out of commission. Oh, jeez. All right, let's see. Weapon. Damn it. Let's see. This is let's see. How can I unhide Weapon? Damn it. Weapon, guess what? I think you're done for the night. My bad, dude. Anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, we were talking about yeah, he can just comment as me. Yeah, that works. Give me a second. Let me get back to what I was doing.
For the rest of this, my comments shall be from Builders Tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have it fixed by next week. Anyway, so the guy shot several people, but I think, like I told my daughter, I think I'm going in. If I'm right there and I'm listening to it, I'm going in and I'm gonna take that charge all day long, because if we don't act and we don't do what we know to do. Oh, I know what I was talking about. Police chief said, first thing out of his mouth was, let's talk about timeline. First thing he said is the call to 911 came at 10:12 p.m. Now, this particular Walmart, it's not a hood Walmart, but there's always cops in the parking lot, because there's a Walmart, there's an At Home, there's a Sam's Club, there's Chuck E. Cheese around there, there's Chick-fil-A. You know, they're always at Chick-fil-A. A couple of restaurants. So there's always a police officer somewhere within minutes of this particular Walmart. They were there at 10:14. So 2 minutes after the 911 call, they were there. And from what I understand, there were 2 units.
Good response time.
Excellent response time. How long did it take them to go into the store? Another 2 minutes. 2 minutes. By 10:16, they were in the store. That is freaking excellent response time. That means they got there, they gathered themselves, assessed the situation, and entered, probably without backup, because people were getting hurt. I think that's excellent response. I think they should be acknowledged for doing their job, because that is their job. Their job is to go in and take out the threat. Some people would argue, oh, that's not their job. That is their job. If people are dying, that is their job.
Protect and serve.
Absolutely. Good response time, yet too long for some. Absolutely. I mean,
everybody's going to nitpick.
Yeah, it's absolutely. But I myself said, okay, well, how many people were shot between 10:12 and 10:16? But you can't get much better than that, because you can't go charging into a store with, like they say, half cocked, because you hear gunfire. You've got to gather yourself. But these guys, at least they didn't pull we can't go in until backup arrives and we got to wait for supervisors and da-da-da-da. No, they got there 2 minutes. They gathered themselves amongst each other and boom, went to work. So I'll give them definitely thank you. Thank you guys for doing your job. Thank you. So if this gets back to them, they know I thank them personally, because they did their job.
Same.
Unfortunately, at that point, it was, but we don't know how long it took someone to call 911 either. Unless someone has that information, because of the if you're a cop, wait 77 minutes before going in. Yeah. Thank God they didn't do that. Because you never know if it would have been multiple shooters, or the guy didn't kill himself. If he, anybody know if he reloaded? I mean, I don't know. I don't have any of this information, guys. I know I said I wanted to get information on that and the shooting at UVA, but with the holiday and everything, being with family, I hadn't had a chance to get any details on it. But all of this goes back to use of force. Who would have been justified in using force? And I called the radio station. I was on the radio, guys. I absolutely thought they were going to cut everything I said, because I told them straight up, what is your wife doing? What is she doing? I hear
scanning
noise.
Stuff.
Oh, okay. That scanner is loud.
Oh, that's probably the fridge now.
Oh,
if it's a constant, that's that fucking fridge, bro. We still haven't gotten rid of it yet.
Oh, okay. Um, the
Sounds like our fucking apartment's about to take off.
Yeah. Now what was I about to say? Dang, I got off track again and lost my train of thought.
You're on the radio?
Oh yeah, I was on the radio and I just knew they were going to cut everything I said. I prefaced when I called in, I said, y'all might not like what I'm about to say. I did. It was like, you may not like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And of course, they were recording, so they didn't cut. They cut out some of the stuff I said, but they left the good meat in, which surprised me. The hosts of the show were in agreement with what I said as far as they, no one expects to be at their job, and no one expects to be in orange or red. And if you don't know what that is, you can go to the previous show about color codes of awareness. I'll put a link up there in the corner for you if you want to know about the color codes. But if you're in red, or nobody expects to be in orange or red when they're at their job on a break in the break room. No one expects someone to come in and just start shooting for no reason at all. And of course, he had his reasons. He was having a psychotic break or whatever he was on his mind. He had his reasons. We'll never know what those were. But no one expects to everybody in there is in color code white. Everybody, because you're on your break. You're trying to take a load off. You're trying to, it might be shift change. Well, it wouldn't have been shift change. Everybody was going home in another hour. But
I stay at a yellow shit when I'm on my break. It's orange immediately.
Yeah. So, nobody's expecting that. So, but what if, when I was on the radio, I made a statement. I said, those people were victims because they worked at a place that didn't allow them to protect themselves. I didn't mention guns. I was very careful not to mention some of the things we talk about on this show. But I said, they were made victims because they worked at a place where they weren't allowed to protect themselves. They weren't allowed to carry guns.
I'm going to piggyback on that. I had a friend who was worked an overnight shift at a Walmart, actually not too far from where I live now. Mm-hmm. One night they got a call over the radio that a little girl was missing. Well, sure enough, he's, everybody fans out. They go and stand by the doors. They check the clothing rooms. They stand outside of the bathroom, so on and so forth. We stand by the front door and sees this guy walking towards him with what is obviously a girl dressed in boys' clothes. So, of course, he asks him to stop. The dude resists. My buddy also trained in martial arts for many years. We actually trained with each other a little bit here and there. So he sidekicked the dude in the leg and took him down, stood on top of him and waited for cops to arrive. Almost lost his job.
Wow.
Yeah. Almost lost his job for stopping some creepy pedophile fuck from taking a little girl.
Wow. And
of course, the company wanted to fire him, but his boss had commended him repeatedly. Actually got a raise and a bump to security there. But had that situation have gone differently and had his boss not have been a dick, Walmart would have fucking fired him in a heartbeat. Yep. Sad.
Because they don't want you to protect yourselves and others. And all things being even, my daughter asked me, had I been in that room, because there was only one exit, one entrance, one exit, break room. I mean, they don't have emergency exits. Would I have been able to make a difference? Probably not. Because again, I probably would have been in condition white as well. I'm not expecting a coworker to come through the door blazing. Now, had he not got me first, maybe I might have had enough time to get my wits about me, because if somebody starts firing, guys, let's be real. Let's be real. Nobody watching this is expecting gunfire to happen in their immediate vicinity. And when you do, if you've ever heard a gun go off inside somewhere, it's loud as hell. It's gonna scare you. You're not expecting it, it's gonna scare you. It's gonna take your ears out. You're gonna lose that sense immediately. Your ears are gone. It's a wrap. In an enclosed space, more than likely.
Bob just said fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. So that split second that it takes, or that split minute that it takes to get your wits about you, might mean the difference of you're able to do something or you're not. I don't have the ego big enough to say, yeah, I would have took him out. If he come in shooting, I'm gonna put him down, pop it out. Maybe not. You would hope that we train to fight and we fight to train, or we train the way we fight and we fight the way we train. But we don't know. So if you're watching this, don't hit my comments talking about, oh, I would have did this and I would have did that. Let's go take you to a kill house and see what you do. Put you in a bed and somebody comes in and you're not expecting them. Let's see what you do. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. Coleon Noir did one himself. He said, man, I died every time. You're not expecting it, guys. So you can survive it. Let's train different scenarios. Don't just go to the range and shoot some paper. Let's get in some of these kill houses, guys. They open to everybody. Let's go down, let's find some spots we could hook up. Go train. I tell you what, let's go train with some of the people my daughter shoot with out in California in her airsoft. I guarantee you those people train. I guarantee you, dude. I'm gonna show.
If you've seen any of the videos, man, some of those airsoft dudes go fucking shit, man.
I'm gonna show y'all a picture of my daughter, and dude, they train.
More popping up, brother.
Huh?
There's more popping up. I'll see if I can't get them.
Yeah, you should be able to get them if you're signed in. Huh? They haven't gone away. Yep, there you go. They're gone now. You blocked them.
Yeah, before I did it from actual YouTube comments, and now I got to do it from StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can add this image so I can show y'all, because I'm actually going to post it in IG as well. Let's see, downloads. No, it's not in there. But yeah, I mean, we gotta train, man, because training will help. It doesn't always mean you'll survive, but you got a better chance if you've trained. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this to come up, because
I'm sorry, guys.
Now we can no longer find love. Oh man, now they're hitting us in the live. They were hitting us in the comments before, but now they're coming into the live. So hey, they do what they do.
Yep.
Hey, somebody needs to find themselves what do you call it? The Russian wife. Why not? Why not find a Russian wife? All right, so I'm gonna share this screen. Let's see if I can do this right. That didn't go as planned. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so all I'm taking this chance to show off my daughter. But check it out. I can't get to it. Ain't this a bitch? Let's see. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So just so you know, these guys, they train all the time. They're in the field running real scenarios. They do kill house training. So I guarantee you, if we went out there and messed with them, we might lose. But it's about training, and they train with it's just these guys. They train with handguns. They train with rifles, and because they're in California, they can't get some of the stuff that we can get our hands on. But I just was saying that we need to train to do different things. And if we're caught unaware, we may not be as ready as we think we are. So watch some of the guys, like Guns Out TV, Guns and Butter, and some of the other people. They run drills all the time. Even if you can get on a range and run a drill every now and again, that would definitely be helpful. So anyway, we are over time, guys. I hope some of this information helps somebody, because we have to take care of ourselves. Now, with everything that was said, again, know your laws, know where you're at, know what you can and can't do. Be nice. Whenever I'm somewhere and I have my gun, if I feel myself getting mad, I just close my mouth. You laugh. You try not to laugh at the comments, aren't you? But anyway,
I just popped a comment in there. I said we never have to see those Russian wife bullshit on the forum, because Nas has like all of Russia blocked.
Yeah. Yep. He sure does. He sure does. I've seen the list. It's long. That dude puts in a lot of work.
Fucking long.
Yeah.
Is she gonna come back with another freedom group?
Yeah. If I could find another freedom group, I definitely. This group is group up there on the.
Yeah, group. I don't know. We can't see the motherfucker.
I know, right? Some of y'all haven't seen Freedom Group, so I'll put them up. This is Freedom Group I got on the last trip in Mexico.
Speaking of Nas, yeah, I fucking love that thing, dude. Speaking of Nas, just dropped a comment in the comment section.
Be polite, be professional.
Words to live by.
But I have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Yeah.
There's I'm a big comic book nerd, as most of us know. So there's a panel of a comic involving Cyclops, the leader of the X-Men. And somebody says to him, so what about Plan B? And he says, Plan B? Well, that means that we only have 26. There is no Plan B. If you understand that statement, that means he has thought of every possible situation more than there are letters in the alphabet.
Yep. Thanks, Live Free for now. Hopefully I will. Hopefully I'm gonna keep my wife away from the scooters. Just an update on my wife. She is walking. She's determined not to have a cane in Spain. I'm gonna make her take it anyway, just in case. We're thinking about taking the scooter just in case she gets tired of walking around, but we may leave it. But anyway, everything's good. I will see y'all in 2 weeks. And if I have a good signal I don't know what time is it in Spain right now? Alexa, what time is it in Spain? Echo, what time is it in Spain? Okay, Echo's not listening. Echo, why is Echo.
None of your shit's working. Hey, Google.
What time is it in Spain?
What time is it in Spain right now?
Spain has multiple times.
The time in Madrid,
In Madrid, it is
5:10 a.m. on Wednesday.
There you go. Both of ours answered at the same time.
Yep.
We had dueling.
So let's see. It's 5:10 a.m. now.
Cool.
That means
Why do you love
It
my
would
husband
be-
more?
She's not even answering
But
that.
I can do a search for you.
No, she offered to do a search for you. So sweet of her.
Interesting.
thanks, Hawkeye. I definitely will. But I think we just learned that I will not be on the show the next 2 weeks since it's 4 a.m. when it's 10 p.m. here. I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to see you guys. Sorry. I'm not doing it.
I don't blame you.
I'll be asleep at 4 a.m., guys. So I'll catch the replay. Or maybe I'll do a pre-recorded message to play. Maybe I'll do that. So, but
Ooh, have fun adjusting to that time zone, brother. Fuck.
yeah,
Ooh.
I'll have fun. I'm gonna
dude,
sleep
I
the
have
whole
no
way.
doubt.
I'm gonna sleep most of the way flying over there, so I'll be all right. Hopefully, I'll sleep the entire way and wake up and I'll be there. We'll be there the next day. So.
No Hawkeye, no Dark Ghost, just my pasty white ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out. I can't figure it out tonight. I got to go to bed because I got to be with Dad in the morning. But I'm gonna figure out what's wrong with this camera before I leave, just in case I need to order one and have it here when I get back. All right, guys, I am going to be out. I appreciate you. Just know that have your situational awareness intact and know your use of force.
Stay frosty.
Trouble. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.